Hi guys! I had a revelation. I woke up after I did the Jubilee video and I was thinking, I wonder if it's coded, the date is coded to another date. And then of course, my date is always about Pi Day, which is Einstein's birthday, which is March 14th. In 2025, we have a blood moon on the star that he found at the speed of light from, right? That it was Zawijava, which is the ascension star. And this is also one of the cardinal points on the azimuthal grid. So, for me, this is really like amazing time that we have a blood moon and it's at 322, which is the skull and bones number, right? So I've been talking about this for a long time. If you've been listening to my channel, you know that I'm really zoomed in on that date. Now, what I'm starting to learn is how the importance of pi is, okay? So I've been doing all this research and I'm going to be talking about this a little bit more and through the school and how this all is relating with the Kabbalah tree. Now, the reason that, they were using the DNA tree of life, I believe, is because it's coded to Pi Day, okay? And when I went on the date duration, my mind was blown. It's exactly 33 months from the date and 13 days. Okay, so 33 we know is the top Freemason number. It's also when the sun and the moon calendars align. They align every 33 years. Okay, so this is the two pillars. It's like the middle path, right? Is the number 33. So I'm just like, oh my God, I have to tell you guys this because I'm just like, ah. So the next 33 months is going to be crazy. So it's 33 months and 13 days. So they put in the 13, and the 13 is the 13th zodiac, Ophiuchus, right? That's the doorway. That's when you hold your snake, you carry it out, and you walk out this realm. Okay, so, and then of course the number 13 ties into Venus. And somebody had mentioned, reminded me, I had misspoken in the Jubilee video saying that the third card on the tarot is the high priestess, and it's not. And I always get them mixed up because on the tree of life, the third card is lower than the second. Okay, so like actually it's reverse. It's like it goes backwards. So it was the Empress card, which is ruled by Venus. Now Venus conjuncts with Earth and the Sun every 8 years. She does her whole pentagram. Okay, so she has 5 points that she hits every 8 years. Now, if you take 8 and 5 and add them together, you get 13. Okay, so 13 is kind of like a Venus number as well. Okay, so it's just cool because it breaks down to 3 again, which is ruling the Empress card. Okay, so the Queen was representing the Empress, ruled by Venus, okay, which is love. And this is how you get out of this realm. So anyhow, I wanted to talk to you about that. I also have wanted to show you what's happening on Pi Day in 2025 because of Osiris's position that they had. Osiris is on the hammer of Orion when she did this ritual. And Osiris is really, really rare that it's conjuncting the sun at the same time as the blood moon. Okay, that's why I'm like blown away by what's happening in the sky in 2025 on Pi Day, because like, what's the chances of that happening, right? And it's in the whole part of the sky where it's the circlet of Pisces, which is like the crown of Christ. It's on the tail of the whale. Okay, so it's all to do with religion and belief systems. So that is like mind-blowing. So we know Osiris is, they're using Osiris. And okay, and I know the number 33 has been used before. I did a video on Mother's Day way back, maybe a year or two ago, and they had made Mother's Day, there was an event in the sky, all in Taurus, a whole bunch of conjunctions, all in Taurus, and then they created Mother's Day 33 years later. So I know that they like to use the number 33 when they're kind of like projecting into the future. The moon on the Jubilee was on the ascended soul of Pollux, the twin of Gemini. And then on Pi Day, we have Mars and Minerva there, which is the wisdom. And Mars is your energy. So your energy is going towards the ascended twin, Okay, so that's really good placement for Pi Day. And then it's also relating to where the moon was when she was doing this ritual. The moon represents your family, your memory of your ancestral family, and also your emotions. Okay, so now, so it's good at Pi Day, all your energy's there and your wisdom is on that ascended twin. So right now, the ritual is done with your emotions and your memories, like clicking into the memories of ascension. That's why the moon was in that placement. Osiris was on the hammer of Orion on the Jubilee, but Dionysus, who is the keeper of the other realm and wants you to drink the nectar of the gods, the wine or the urine or the Orion therapy. I call it Orion therapy because Orion used to be called urine. Okay, the name Orion is actually to urine. So Dionysus is in a really good position on Pi Day to fulfill that prophecy. Bacchus is also kind of like an alternate name for Dionysus, but they used Bacchus when they were aligning, I believe, when they were building the Capitol building. George Washington, when he laid the foundation stone, it was aligning with Bacchus. So Bacchus is in Aries, which is the Lamb of God. It's your crown chakra. This is all on Pi Day. Ariadne, who's the keeper of the labyrinth, which is Taurus constellation, and she becomes free and goes and marries Dionysus when the bull is killed. Now she's almost in conjunction with Neptune, who's also to do with the other realm. It's your imagination, right? It's also beliefs because he rules Pisces, but it's also to do with being shamanic or seeing through the veil. So she's with him. Right on Pi Day, Venus is right on the square of Pegasus, and that's where the azimuthal grid comes down with the three guided stars that go up right to the top of the grid. And I've explained that before, but basically she's on the wing of Pegasus, right? And Mercury is right beside her. So now that's your mind and your heart and it's like you have to alchemize Mercury and Venus. They have to be together. So it's nice that they're together because sometimes they're separate. They kind of leapfrog back and forth and fun behind the sun, but they're together on Pi Day. And Saturn is in conjunct with the sun as well, right? And he's the devil with Osiris and the sun. Like all I have to do is zoom a little bit more out and they're all conjunct. Okay, so it's just really intense. Now Jupiter, who is Zeus, is right in the silver gate of the horns of Taurus, and Uranus is now in Taurus. Now Uranus and Taurus is earth changing, okay, because Taurus is ruled by Earth and Venus, but Uranus is all about change. It's all about it's known as the heaven planet, but it's also big huge changes, like big huge changes in your life. It's like you don't want to be part of this realm when you have Uranus in the first house. It's like you're a bit of an enigma, like you're eccentric. It's like you don't want to fit in. Okay, but with Uranus going into Taurus, because it's ruled by Earth, with that in that constellation, it can be like earth changing. Okay, so like it would make sense. It's like the toroidal field is changing. I do believe there's a door opening for those that want to go to a higher frequency. Okay, because they're showing us this in so many different movies and stuff, and it's just getting crazy. It's just almost in every single show you watch now in some form. But it all ties back to math. Okay, that's what's blowing my mind. It's all tying back to pi and phi. Okay, so I've been sitting on pi, not knowing really. I know it means infinity. I know Trump wore the glove, the infinity glove, the Thanos glove. I knew it was important, right? But I wasn't sure, like, if pi is the way out or is phi the way out. Okay, and I think it's a combination of understanding the two. Because the phi has to do with, the whole thing, like how Down Winter says, it all goes back to golden ratio, which is all tied to phi, right? To get your brain at theta. But it's also connected to pi. Okay, so what I'm understanding now is that these numbers that are with math are connected to the Kabbalah tree. Okay, there's a relationship with the paths on the tree and also the tarot cards on the tree. Okay, so now what's really fascinating, okay, I started to do the research on this, and you know how it's always connected to the hand, right? That's why Elvis Presley sang "Take My Hand, Precious Lord," and you have that famous painting with Michelangelo, you know, going reaching out and touching God with your hand. It's because the hand is five, right? It is phi. Okay, it's Venus. It's the five, number five, because she makes the pentagram. So your hand is really important, but it's also the phalanx inside your hand. There's 28 of them, and this number is a key. If you take the number 88 and you divide it by 28, which is your two hands, and the phalanx in your two hands, it comes to pi. So your two hands, the bones in your two hands, the phalanx in your fingers is making pi, but your one hand, the measurement is making phi. And I know if you turn your hand in a fifth, this is also pi. Okay, so your hands are pi and phi. Now the pyramids are made with pi and phi. So it's like this whole matrix is like a simulation that is all done through the math of pi and phi, even our bodies. Okay, so they're like avatars. And this is where it gets really crazy. There's 88 keys in a pi ano, and your fingers play the piano. Okay, so they coded that. Obviously, we have 88 constellations, which is, you know, all part of this realm. The number 8 being the symbol of infinity, 88 symbolizes the double directions of infinity of the universe. That is to say, the infinite small and the infinite large. So it's like both directions, right? It is the period of revolution in the number of days of the orbit of Mercury. And this is what I've been telling you guys and making sure that you guys understand that, because the Mad Hatter is all to do with Mercury. This is with Johnny Depp. You know, he played the Mad Hatter, and they went mad. Hatters went mad because the hats were formed with Mercury. Okay, so they got so that, you know, it's all to do with your mind, right? So it's funny how that all ties in. And then they have gematria here with in French of God is one, is 88. And then the cardinal number 7 is used 88 times in the New Testament. But obviously, number 88 is part of the code, right? To me, it's like two Mobius strips. And they're going to, these two, you know, realms are going to tie together. I just watched Tomorrowland last night, and you have to watch that. This is with George Clooney. And we're basically the weeds in the wheat. I'm not going to ruin the movie for you, but you have to watch it because they're jumping dimensions, okay? And there's only certain people that don't believe in the narrative that this realm is saying it's going to happen. So they're basically saying, you know, the world's going to come to an end, and there's people that don't believe it. And because they don't believe it, it changes the probability. So it's all about our belief systems. This is what this is all about. And if you believe that, you know, there's a way out of here into a higher dimension, we can bring eventually the world into a higher dimension by us believing that there is another realm. That's the way this works. So you have to believe it, and you have to believe that there's a door opening, right? There's a way out. So, and I do think that it has to be all coded to math, and it has to be coded to the sky, because it's all like a computer game, and you know, and everything is code. So it can't be just a random day with nothing appearing in the sky, or, you know, it has to tie to math somehow. And it makes perfect sense to me that the Pi Day is, you know, a relevant day. Now, whether that's the day the door opens, I don't know. But all I know that this blood moon on this Pi Day, they're coding this Jubilee to it, right? So something's going to happen. You know, I'm assuming something's going to happen. And maybe we need to assume that something really good's going to happen, right? That's what we need to do as a collective. We need to start to understand that and how to use the energy, tying into the Hebrew alphabet, how to make this happen. Okay, and it's all tying to the Kabbalah tree. And this is why they used it in this ceremony. Okay, so you have to watch Tomorrowland. The other movie, and oh, they even mentioned urine in there again. The guy that doesn't age says, I take my elixir every morning. They don't mention urine there, but they do mention urine in another part of the show. And then I watched Life of Pi. Okay, and that's hilarious. You guys be telling me to watch this. I was cracking up because, his name is Piscin, which is pool, like the reflecting pool in Washington, where all the nectar is gathered. And then they call him pissing. So there was urine in that too. And then he's on a boat and he's peeing. So it's urine is everywhere. It really is funny. It's getting ridiculously funny. So it's somebody mentioned you're either you're in or you're out. So so we're in, guys. We're in. Okay, so we have to create this door opening with our imaginations. Okay, and this is, the fact that, they've coded it to Pi Day, I think is really a big, huge key to it. So I just wanted to let you guys know this because I was so excited when I saw the number, 33 and 13 all coding to Pi Day. So I had to share. So thanks a lot, guys, for giving the feedback on how often you want the school to happen. I think 2 weeks is unanimous with everybody's wanting that. So, and I've got a lot of emails. People are interested, and I'm gonna put the whole agenda of how the school is going to work, and I'm going to email you back. It might not be today, maybe tomorrow, but I'm going to get back to you guys. So don't worry if you are wondering about it. My email is in the description box. It's crystal-time24@gmail.com. So just give me a shout and see if you want to be hooked in on the live teachings, or if you want to just watch it later. Either way is fine. And I'm going to do them each segment. You don't have to buy the whole teaching. Okay, you can pop in and out when you want, and that's fine, because I think that is the most fair thing to do. And if you want to come right from the beginning and learn how to use astrology and how to memorize it, that's how I'm going to start the school. It's just kind of going through the symbols and starting to help people think in astrology. Okay, so you have to start to think in astrology. You have to kind of start to know where things are in the sky. Like, you have to get your bearings, and you also have to understand the symbols. And so there's a way of memorizing it. Okay, and I've done charts. I had charts all made for you guys, and I'll give you guys the charts. So I haven't presented them yet. So those are special charts that I just want to give to people that are actually signing in for the school. So anyhow, this was really exciting for me to kind of just share with you guys. So I hope you guys think it's fun and you're all in bliss, and this is getting really crazy. Next 33 months, it looks like it's going to be a little wild ride. So positive thoughts, guys. Bliss to you all. Bye.